My name is John Webster. I am a professor here in geosciences at Minot State University. I teach kind of the hard rock professor here. I teach mineralogy, petrology, structural geology, some geochemistry, so kind of a variety of things. The research I do is mostly petrology, which is studying the origin of rocks, and part of that requires knowing what's in them and knowing their chemical compositions, and that's quite a lot of what this instrument is all about. I received actually 2 EPSCoR grants. It was kind of a unique situation. I've got the first one in the fall to get a new X-ray detector, a new EDS detector for our existing scanning electron microscope. And I kind of dragged my feet a little bit because we started to have some trouble with that SEM, and I'm glad I did, because that SEM went belly up. Fortuitously, about the same time that the second grant opportunity was announced, and it was enough to be able to consider getting a tabletop SEM like this. And so I combined the two, so I got a new tabletop scanning electron microscope with a new EDS detector that's appropriate for this kind of SEM. So again, I used the funds to purchase an integrated system with both the EDS detector and the scanning electron microscope. For my research, this system is important because it allows me to do basically spot chemical analysis on geological materials. So that can be anything from spot chemical analysis on sand grains, which is what I've done a lot of over the last couple decades, to analyzing crystals in igneous rocks or metamorphic rocks. And so it's useful for imaging very fine-grained materials, but my primary interest in it is to do spot chemical analysis. I think this is a big benefit for students because they get to use some sophisticated instrumentation in their coursework. So in mineralogy, petrology classes that I teach, the students learn how to operate the system and what it's used for as they do basically a research-based project in the class. And some of those students will go on and use this instrumentation in their own individual research projects. So I've worked with probably 25, 30 students over the years doing their own research projects on volcanic rocks and heavy mineral sand grains. And they're more comfortable, more apt to go on and do something like this because they're familiar with the instrumentation from learning how to use it in the coursework. And I guess one thing I would say to prospective students is, Minot State is not a big place, but I feel like we're big opportunities in a small school where students are able to, both in classes and in their own research projects, use some pretty sophisticated instrumentation that a lot of smaller schools might not have. And at bigger schools, they just might not have the opportunity, the access to use them. So I feel like we can give students some unique opportunities here in terms of using some pretty cool stuff.